Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video I have the Sos Viand Kabrit for you guys, stewed goat. I hope you guys enjoy this recipe, and if you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe for more videos like these. And if you have any suggestions for more videos, let me know in the comment section. So this is the goat. This is what it looks like. I'd like to say that it is very tedious to clean. I will do a more detailed video on that at a later date. But really, you want to remove the fat and you want to remove the veins. If you don't remove them, your goat will be very gammy and very chewy. It won't taste good, and it also have a foul smell, in my opinion. So that's why I'm using lemon and not lime. But if you have sour oranges at your disposal, that's even better. To remove all that stuff from there, I actually let it sit in some vinegar. Again, I will have a more detailed video on how I clean the goat. I just didn't want this video to be too long, which is why I did not add it in. But I went ahead and put some hot water on there, let it sit for a little bit just so I could remove more of that stuff out of there. And then once I got the water out, I'm now putting my spices on there. So I'm using black pepper, garlic powder, seasoned salt, Creole seasoning, and this dry barbecue rub that I use on red meat. And I'm also adding épices that you see here. If you're new to my channel, it's the very first video, but no worries, I plan to do a refresher on the épices video for the new subscribers. I went ahead and marinated this overnight because it takes forever to clean the goat, so I didn't want to have to do that the day of that I had to cook it. So I would suggest that you do the same. Unless you have time, then go right ahead. Now I'm adding it to my pot so I can cook it. I also want to let you guys know that it takes forever for goat to cook, so you can actually do this in a crock pot. I would not recommend doing it in an instant pot, and I'll explain why when I do a video on crock pot versus instant pot later on. So be a lookout on that video. And also, I would like to let you guys know goat can burn. Okay, so be mindful of that. Make sure you're watching it and adding water to it as needed. Like right here, I'm adding water here. It took my goat to cook for about 3 hours. It can take less for you depending on the temperature that you're using. I think cooking it slow is better. And now that my goat is cooked, we're going to be doing the next step. Okay, so now that it's ready, I'm going to go ahead and get my onions and bell peppers and stuff ready. Now you can add potatoes and carrots and everything to this, but I choose not to because kids, it's a struggle trying to get them to eat vegetables, and I was not about to waste food on stuff that I know they were not going to eat. Okay, so that's why I'm not adding any potatoes or carrots in mine. So please, when you come to the comment section, this is why. So now I am letting my goat get some color. I removed the water like you see here, and I'm going to let it stay in the pot and stir it every so often as it gets color. And if it's getting dry, I will add a little bit of the broth that I have on the side and just let it catch some color. And as you can see now too, the meat is practically falling off the bones. That's a preference of mine. I like it to be very tender. Some people I know like it to be a little bit more firm, and if you want it to be more firm, just don't let it cook for that long. But for me, when it's tender like that, when it's just, I don't know, it's just crumbly, I love it that way. So that's why I did it the way that I prefer to do it. Alright, so I went ahead and removed the meat now that it has the color that I was looking for. If you want it a bit darker, you can keep it up for a little bit longer. And in that same pan, I'm adding some olive oil. Once it gets hot, I'm going to be adding my onions and bell peppers that I had on the side. If you want to do the potatoes and carrots, you can go ahead and add it with the onions and bell peppers at this time, just so it could soak in all that flavor from the pan, so you can have a nice delicious stew. So after I add the onions and bell peppers, I'm stirring it so it can just get slightly caramelized. I don't want it to be cooked all the way through just yet, because I want when I add the meat back in my pot for the flavors to soak in the meat. Now for the habanero that you saw that I just dropped in there, I went and put my cloves in there to keep track of that. I talked about why in my last video, so be sure to check that out. And now I'm adding some fresh thyme in there for more of a nice flavor and a good scent. You know, it make the house smell really good. And then I'm going to add about 3 tablespoons of tomato paste that I dissolve in water. Now this is not for flavor. This is just for color. I want my stew to look very nice, very edible. You know, I want the kids to eat with their eyes and stuff like that, so that's why I add that on there, so you don't have to if you don't want to. Notice that I did not stir right away. I waited for everything to start simmering first, and now I'm going to be adding that goat meat broth that I had on the side. I'm adding that in there. I'm gonna let that simmer as well before I stir. If you want to add a little bit more water, which I did, to get more of a stew, you can do that now. Just don't stir it yet. Wait for everything to come to a simmer before you stir, like I'm doing right now. And then after that, go ahead and grab the meat that you had on the side and add it to the pot. All right, now I add the goat back in the pot. I don't know about you, but I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. I mean, look at it. It's very tender, and this is how I prefer it. And my favorite way to eat this is with some boiled plantains, believe it or not. I mean, oh my God, it's so good. But I did not make boiled plantains with it this time. I did make some rice because my kids and my husband, they love rice. But me, if I was making this just for me, oh yeah, give me some boiled plantains and I'm good to go. But yeah, that's how I like to make my goat stew. Goat is not something I cook all the time because I don't like the cleaning process. It's very smelly, but once you can get over all of that, it's really good. And that's pretty much it, guys. I hope I was able to make this recipe as simple as possible for you guys. If you have any questions, please put them in the comment section. I am more than happy to answer them, and I'm more than happy to make an even more detailed video if you need it. But this is the final outcome. I hope you like it, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Love you. Bye.